This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 176 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is sponsored by Equestrian Collections for the whole universe of equestrian shopping at your fingertips at a price you can afford. Enjoy today's tip. I am Glenn the Geek from Lexington, Kentucky, horse capital of the world, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. Well, this week we're going to do something a little bit different. It's Vet Week here on Horse Tip Daily, so we'll have a bunch of veterinarian tips. We have 3 different veterinarians who will be joining us this week, and we hope you enjoy their tips. It's something that, veterinary tips are something that affects all horse people, regardless of discipline or how you ride or which saddle you put on. You always will deal with the same veterinarian and the same hassles and the same diseases and all that goes on there with the veterinarians. So we are going to start the week with a returning veterinarian that we've come to love here on the Horse Radio Network, and that is Dr. Kari Leeuw. Dr. Leeuw is a chiropractor and acupuncturist. She graduated with honors from Cornell University, and she went on to get her veterinary degree at UC Davis. She completed her chiropractic training at Healing Oasis Wellness Center in Wisconsin and her acupuncture certification from the International Veterinary Acupuncture Society. Now currently practices in California, and we have all of her contact information. If you wish to contact her, to have her out to see your horse, you can find all of her information on our website at horsetipdaily.com. Just use the Experts tab on the left side of the page or the drop-down menu on the top of the page, and you'll find Dr. Leeuw. Before we get to Dr. Leeuw, though, first, it's spring, and Equestrian Collections is very excited about that. It is all about color this spring at Equestrian Collections. That's right, fun colors are all the trend in the spring equestrian apparel lines, with pinks, blues, and teals leading the way. Lots of colors and coordinates with leading manufacturers like Iridian, Carrots, Ariat, and Equine Couture, to just name a few. You can find thousands of options for your spring riding wardrobe or casual wardrobe at equestriancollections.com. And don't forget to use the coupon code HORSERADIO, that's Horse Radio, all one word, in the coupon code section when you check out, and you'll get $10 off your next order of $120 or more at equestriancollections.com. Well, hi, Dr. Leeuw, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me on the show.
I wanted to remind everybody that they can hear all of Dr. Leeuw's tips by just going to our website at horsetipdaily.com, and on the left-hand side of the page, just under Experts, look up Dr. Kari, that's Kari Leeuw, and you'll find all of her tips in one place. You can go back and listen to them if you missed them. I highly recommend you do that because we've covered some basic groundwork, and now we're getting into some more interesting, detailed stuff. So I just encourage everybody to go back and take a listen to your previous tips. All right, let's get this out of the way right away. You live in San Francisco and your weather is nicer than ours. Okay, there, we got it out of the way right away today.
I won't remind you again.
You live in a beautiful part of the country. So let me ask you, you said you ride. Do you? And you work on horses and dogs. Do you have a dog?
I do. I have a border collie.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, good friends of ours also have, she has 2 border collies. They're a lot of fun.
They are. They keep you on your toes.
I was going to say, sure. High energy, boy.
Exactly.
These dogs love to be out in the yard. She actually lives right at a horse farm, and her house is surrounded by pastures on 3 sides, and the yard's fenced in. So they sit outside and make believe they're herding horses all day. They just love sitting there, in their crouch, just dreaming about herding the horses.
Exactly. It's their fantasy. Sheep and horses.
They're a lot of fun. What's your name?
Her name's Clover, and she goes on trail rides with me in the hills. She loves it.
Sticks right with you?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
It's her job.
That's right. They need a job. That's one thing they do need.
Keep all the horses together on the trail, run in circles around them when they need to be herded up.
Well, that's great. All right. Well, how are we going to help people today?
Well, since I do a lot of chiropractic work,
Yep.
one of my main goals is to have my clients not need me very often. So as I'm working on their horses,
That's an
and getting
unusual
all their
thing from a professional.
getting all their joints moving like they should, yeah, I try and give them suggestions on, well, what can you do so that I'm not coming back here every 2 weeks to readjust your horse.
Right.
And most of the disciplines that we do, whether it's reining, dressage, jumping, they're all based on natural movements that the horses do. However, in the wild, the horses would only do them maybe once or twice a day. And we do a lot of drilling our horses and, spinning them repeatedly or doing a lot of canter transitions to try and get them to master something or get them to be obedient doing a certain discipline. And so I always remind my clients that, any drilling like that, you're just kind of keeping those same muscles tight. And if you want to work on something, if you can take a break from it, go back, let the horse stretch, then do it again, and really give the body a little bit of time to recover in between the drilling. You're not going to get the horse so bound up and stuck in certain joints. Examples of this would be, in dressage or reining, you're really asking the horse to get under itself and bend its hocks. And then as they start to get fatigued and sore, then I start to see the pelvis getting really locked up. Or if you're working on a certain head carriage for a gaited horse, for example, that ligament, the nuchal ligament that connects like the withers to the top of the skull will get so tight that I've actually had some horses that have pulled some of that ligament off the skull and fractured the bone a little bit just from being in that frame for so long.
Wow.
So one of my big things is let the horse stretch, let the horse relax. It needs breaks,
Right.
The drilling just really can take its toll on the body.
Right.
So another one would be something we've already discussed a little bit, which is making sure your saddle fits, because that can be another big source of pain.
We talked about that in the last tip. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's something to be very aware of, especially if your horse is getting consistent work. And then consistent work itself is really key. If you're a weekend warrior, your horse is a lot less likely to hold its adjustments and stay balanced and in line than if its muscles are well toned and you keep it in fairly good shape. Because the muscles do such a good job holding the joints that the joints won't go out of alignment. And by out of alignment, it's really just they have some pain and their range of motion is less. So when I'm feeling them, there's not that spring that there should be in certain areas.
And would you say 3 times a week is good as a minimum, that you see less problems with a certain number of times they ride a week, or does it just depend?
Yeah, it just depends, but I would say, not less than twice a week.
Okay.
And if you're doing it twice a week, don't do Saturday and Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Space it out. That's the big problem.
Which is
Saturday
easy for people in California to say.
Stands around. So, and then, it's always do what's appropriate for the condition of your horse. And don't over lunge is another thing. If you're only riding twice a week, maybe your horse is hyper, and to calm it down, you have to lunge it for 20 minutes. So going in a lot of circles is not easy on the body unless your horse is really used to it. But even then, that takes its toll on the joints. So lunging is great for training, but as a form of exercise, it's pretty hard on the body.
One of the things we've heard consistently, we interview some of the top riders in the world on our shows, and one of the things that I've heard consistently when we ask about their training and things like that is more and more of them now than I think ever before are recommending that you have to give your horse that downtime. You don't just come out and drill every day, drill, and not take them for a nice quiet trail ride. That bonding, just chill out time is so important.
Exactly, and I was so impressed when I worked at Stefan Peters' barn, and everyone, today's the trail day. This isn't the drill day. He just gets his trail day. The Olympic horses are getting a trail day.
Well, and I think he's a big believer in that, actually. Yeah. And that's great. It also gives their brain a break. Not just their bodies, but they need that. you know.
Exactly. And something that a lot of times I'll have my clients do that does kind of give the brain a break, and it helps their body while not drilling them, is I'll have people do stretches, which your massage therapist, Megan, may have already mentioned this, but I'll have people do, the carrot to the hip and side to side, and when they pick up the feet to clean them out, stretch the hind legs out behind and stretch the front legs up, and all that just sort of helps the horse relax and softens the body so it doesn't feel like everything it has to do is on edge.
Right. Well, that's great. All right, Dr. DeLeeuw, where can people find out more about you? Your name is so rhymey. You can do so much with your name.
When I played basketball, it was DeLeeuw for two.
Well, yeah, that would be good too. Yeah. Wow.
The sportscasters loved it.
Did you play in college?
Until college.
Oh, until college? And then you decided to become a veterinarian instead and play with horses.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's always been about the horses, really.
All right. Where can people find you?
My website is equineholisticvetmed.com, and they can find me if they come to California. Work in the Bay Area and down in San Diego a bit as well.
Great. Well, that's super. And, of course, people can go to horsetipdaily.com and find out all of your links if they that's a long one you got there. So if they would just want to go to horsetipdaily.com and look for Dr. DeLeeuw, you'll find links to her website and her email address. And feel free. You invited people to email you before if they have any questions about chiropractic or acupuncture, that you'd be happy to help out.
Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure.
All right. Thanks, Dr. DeLeeuw.
Thank you.
Well, thanks to Dr. DeLeeuw for being the first guest here on Vet Week at horsetipdaily.com. Remember, Dr. DeLeeuw will be back periodically with more tips. Be sure to check her website out at equineholisticvetmed.com. And I know that's a mouthful. You can find that on our website as well. You can just look for Dr. DeLeeuw under the experts panel, and you'll find her there with all of the links to her various websites and email addresses. You can drop me an email at glenn@horseradionetwork.com. And don't forget to stop by our website at horsetipdaily.com for our show notes and the links to all the experts there. And we would love your feedback as well. And don't forget to check out all the great shows on the network at horseradionetwork.com. We've got quite a stable of shows going on over there now, and I think you'll enjoy more than just this one. If this is the only one you've listened to, hop on over. Do eventing, do dressage, do the World Equestrian Games, do the Stable Scoop radio show. We have a bunch of them. Check them out. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert. Actually, in this case, another new veterinarian and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.